relationship, and drama free has to do with wisdom in relationship. Can you share, please? Share everyone. Share to everyone. Tony J underscore GH. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight, this morning, this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being part of this. I appreciate you for joining us to be looking into a lot of things that happens in relationship. We are wired to relate. Somebody received sanity after several years of losing his mind, and after I was free, he was told to go and tell his friends, meaning that even a mad person has a friend, and go and tell your friends that you are healed. Even in insanity, we expect people to relate with us, and we're expected to relate with people. So in relationship, we have a lot of things that happens, drama, a lot of things happen to us, and we cannot afford not to be intentional and not to understand the dynamics of things that happen, especially when the relationship is important, where so many things are at stake. As much as possible, we can avoid drama. We can have drama-free relationship. It takes a lot of wisdom. Thank you, Abide Mioguton. Thank you, Bidu Adekoya. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Team Tutors Ibadan. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, this morning. I appreciate every one of you. I said something that is very profound. In every relationship, somehow, we just experience a little bit of misunderstanding, and if it's not properly managed, it becomes a permanent scar, or at the end of the day, it becomes so dramatic that you're wondering, are these people really connected before? If you listen to my previous episode, if you miss any of the episodes, just go back and watch them at your own leisure time, because we all need this. We are wired to relate. I said something, I said from the womb to the tomb, you are relating. Somehow your friend is there to help you. In the journey of your life, you cannot but relate. So you have no choice than to just relate. And when you're relating, you must be itch free, it must be drama free as much as possible. Sometimes we may not be able to help it because we are all human beings. We have different background, different upbringing, different exposure, and of course our temperaments are not the same. Sometimes we just wake up from one wrong side of the bed and somebody said something or somebody did something normally that you will overlook, but you refuse to overlook it and you took it personal, and before you know it becomes a major challenge. So that's why we need a lot of wisdom to relate. And I started part one of the episode on venting. I said first episode was venting is not a bad thing. We all vent. Even God had to vent to Abraham. Then I said venting is not gossip. Then of course I came with another side of it, that venting is gossip, as it were, and I said that if you are the kind of a person that, if you miss any of this episode, please go back and watch so that we can just fly with our episode of today. Venting. Some people thought it is not right to vent. I need to balance this truth today. To vent, it's normal, it's not abnormal. And when you are privileged to have someone you vent with, your venting person or the person you vent to is actually your comforter and also your confronter. And that's the truth. People you vent to can comfort you, they can also confront you. Now, when you are venting, you are clearing your chest. Venting means I need fresh air. I need to breathe. I need ventilation. I'm choking. That's the right word. I'm choking. So when you feel choked up with a situation or circumstances or something that happened, then definitely you need somewhere to exhale, to vent, to ventilate, to clear your heart, to clear your chest. That is venting. So people must understand that venting is not a sign of weakness. Please don't ever, I mean, if God can vent, Jonah vents to God. Paul and Barnabas, they had it hard. It is human, it is natural to vent, but taking it personal and making it serious and making a big deal out of it, that's when it becomes a problem. But normally we have the privilege to open our heart to each other and just tell your friend, I don't like this, I like this is not good, this is not right, and we let it go. So you are clearing your heart. Now I want us to look at the dimension of drama in the area of having to vent, and it becomes a problem, it becomes a challenge. That's communication. Venting in communicating. Please, if you want to note it, please write it down. In any relationship, in every relationship, there are three major sources of conflict. Communication is number one. A relationship that is void of communication is going to end in separation, because we need to talk. I said something, I said venting is exhaling, venting is bringing out your mind, venting is to feel unchoked. If you are choking in any relationship, you vent by saying it out and letting it out. Now, a relationship that will thrive, you must communicate, you must vent. And that's why when you are married to a toxic person, in marriage relationship, you will hear that we don't talk, we don't communicate. There is no conversation that will not lead to fight or misunderstanding or disagreement. If you are in that space, please, you need help. Honestly, you need help. You need help. There's no relationship that you will find yourself in and will not be able to express yourself. Now, I'm not saying you should be immature, that every little thing you blast out, you yell out, you flip up, your handle. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there should be a time of constructive communication, a time which you would express yourself, your spouse will express herself, and you just close up, healthy closure. The moment there is no closure in your communication, in your conversation, then there is a major problem that has to be quickly resolved, or that relationship will not and cannot last. I'm choosing my words and I'm intentional with what I'm doing today. Any relationship that you find yourself in, you cannot talk it through, you cannot say it through, there's always a bottleneck conversation that nobody is going anywhere. So somebody will just, let's leave it. And that's not relationship. The moment you are saying, okay, you are not relating. You are in bondage, you are a slave, you are not relating, and it cannot last. It's a matter of time somebody would exit. Please note this. If you are in a relationship, I'm repeating it intentionally. If you are in a relationship and you've not had a full conversation without misunderstanding, without a reaction, then there's a problem. Seek intervention. Send me a DM now and let's talk about it. And I'm going to zero it to something and quickly digress. I'm passionate, intentional, dynamic on a project that I'm privileged to be handling now, and that is personality assessment. This would help you to walk through your marriage in peace, sanity, and in serenity. 3 things brings conflict in a home: communication, money, and sex. Drama comes when you cannot communicate. And I said, I'm repeating myself deliberately, I said if you're in a relationship, you have not had a full conversation. I mean a full conversation with your spouse. It's always ending in a fight, in misunderstanding, leads to a major fight, or you have to say, okay, I'm okay, I'm fine, that's okay, then there's a problem. You need help as soon as yesterday. I need advice. My wife has a friend who usually pick every friend I usually pick every morning, and when I got to the bus stop, I usually pick her, or if she wasn't there and I have passengers in my car, I had to tell my wife too. I'm sure you are still typing. I'll wait for you to finish typing, then I'll answer. Let me pin that. So I'll answer you because it's not yet, you've not finished typing as I'm looking at it. So I have a passenger in my car. I had to tell my wife to, okay. Now, what I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship, we are dealing with drama free today, and we are talking about communication in relationship. If you are relating with someone, to let her know that I can't wait and I had to go. Since then, my wife didn't talk to me at home over 2 months now. Wow, woo. You need intervention, in all fairness. I think I need to go back to personality assessment, especially for couples. How many years do you want to live on earth and you'll be wearing iron dress? This marriage cannot thrive. You will just, at the end of the day, you will open the door to a lot of things, especially to infidelity. Look at what the person said. What do I do about this? I can't cope with this again. Sure, you are not lying. You can't cope. Nobody can thrive in this drama. This is proper drama. And the problem here is communication. Basically, it is communication. To let her know I can't wait for her, I had to go since my wife didn't talk to me at home for over 2 months now. Because you did not pick her friend. Wow, it's more than that, professionally speaking. I don't know why people want to keep struggling in life when you can always seek counsel. You have to respect the office of a professional. You are given a marriage certificate without going to school. I was going to look for a paper. A certificate they gave you in marriage is just a paper that everybody signed. You're given a certificate without going to school. How are you expected to pass? Just because you didn't pick a friend. Sir, it's more than that. There has been a bottled up misunderstanding. This is just like an icing on the cake. You've been having issue in that marriage. Take it to the bank. That I know. I've been privileged to do this over and over and over and over again. The best thing to do is to agree to do counsel. Because, marriage crisis is like an oak tree. In Africa, we call it Iroko tree. Now, if you are passing and suddenly the Iroko had fallen, the oak tree had fallen, people will be wondering, what's wrong with this tree? It's massive. What's wrong with this marriage? They are together. They wear uniform to church. They pray together. They fast when they need to fast. They go to Mecca together. They are together. You are just speaking grammar. It's all mask that you are seeing in that relationship. We are all seeing mask. It's all drama. It's all pretense. When you are acting drama, everybody acts and acts and acts and acts. So in that marriage, there had been some unresolved anger, some unresolved problems. This is just the probably, like I said, the icing on the cake. You've had communication issues. You've had issues of finances. Probably your sexual life has been affected. How can you be in a marriage as a husband and a wife and you not have sex in 2 months? Oh God. This marriage is at the edge of breaking. That's the truth. Your wife cannot be using sex as a weapon, in all fairness. And that's what she's using at the moment, which is scary, in all fairness. I will have to be honest with you. Let me quickly give you a way out a little bit. I want to encourage, now, if anybody comes to me for counsel, in the last 1 month, I will insist on compatibility assessment test. The husband said, "Don't sue me." I know. Now, what do we do when we say compatibility assessment? We are telling you, let me put it in a practical form. You have headache. You go to the chemist. You take or you buy an analgesic, an anti-malaria in Africa. That's what we do. Now, please listen to my heart. If you take anti-malaria with the analgesic and the feelings of malaria is still there, you are still feeling the symptoms, and our marriage is just 1 year and 2 months, you are not married. You see, that's why I'm screaming. Let me just continue with this. Now, do you know the statistics of divorce now is scary, and it's going to get worse. I'm not prophesying doom. Fact. Now, the next thing you do after going to the chemist and you are still feeling feverish and all this joint pain, you go straight to go and see your doctor. Now, when you get to that doctor, probably he has your case file and everything. Okay, you take another injection, check your blood pressure, probably give you antibiotics, and for you to go. 3 days, 4 days later, you are having the same symptoms. Your doctor will never ever, any reasonable doctor, any intelligent doctor, any doctor that is not a quack doctor, will not give you any medication again. You will just notice that the doctor will open on his table, he will open a file and bring out a laboratory paper and start thinking, blood this, check for typhoid, check for malaria parasite. They will tell you to go and do blood tests. When you do the blood test and bring the results, they will know if it is hepatitis B, if it is HIV, if it is malaria parasite, if it is typhoid fever. The result will show. That is exactly what we do when we are saying you are doing compatibility assessment test. Now, who takes your sample to the laboratory? The technician, lab technicians, we call them. Now, for your compatibility assessment, it is clinical psychologists or clinicians that takes your sample, your emotional sample, as they will take your blood sample for treatment. So they take your emotional samples for treatment, for check. When they mark it and they have the result, they will know exactly where the problem is in your marriage. The same thing with your blood test. When your result is out, the doctor can easily see the problem and give you the diagnosis and give you medication. That is what the compatibility assessment test does. Compatibility assessment test is to check your emotional connection. Now, don't ever think that you have prayed, you are sure. Spirits don't get married. We get married soulishly, and that is why you call yourself, we are soulmates. Now, somebody is asking, please ask your questions. Is it everybody that should do compatibility assessment test? Yes and no. Yes, if you really want to bond the more in your relationship. You want your husband, you want each free marriage, crisis free marriage, yes. No. If you feel you are comfortable. Yes, let me answer yes more. Yes, if you have been having consistent conflict, this person's marriage is just 1 year and how many months? Let me check again. And 2 months thereabout, and they have kept malice now for 2 months because I did not pick my wife's friend from the bus stop to the place or wherever they're going. This relationship, the eye that will follow you to the grave will not be bringing water in the morning. This is a red flag, serious red flag. You need intervention, or else this marriage is just living on a borrowed time. It will blow, it will explode, and it's a bomb that is ticking. So please just send me a DM. I am insisting now for compatibility assessment test because it has saved me a lot of problems lately. Because when the result is out, you cannot doubt it. You say, wow, this is our problem. And that settles it. So the next thing is, these are, even the result will show where you need help, where we need to adjust, things you have to do. Very simple. And as simple as ABC. And everyone will see their both areas of their vulnerability. It's not one-sided. And that's why we tell you when the result is out, we'll explain the result. You see your result and you go for healing and recovery. Simple. Because God gave us brain. Is it not God that gave the lab technicians to be able to see in your blood that you have malaria, you have typhoid? Same with technicians. I don't even know why. Same with the clinicians. I don't even know why they will tell you before you get married, do your blood group, know your genotype, know your blood group, do HIV tests, and they will not tell you to do compatibility assessment test. That is scary. That is not fair on our generation. It's a major assignment that God has given to me. Because I'm wondering, why would you tell me do blood tests, check for your genotype, whether you are AA or AS, do HIV test? Why won't you do? Why are you not going to do the thing that will make you to live long and live well in that marriage relationship, which is whether you are compatible? Someone say, oh, if you are not compatible, what do we do? You work on your marriage. It's not a license for divorce. But the moment you know that this communication, I started with drama free and I was talking about communication. If you have not been able to, now there's nothing stopping this couple to come together and discuss, okay, my dear, what happened? Why did you pick my friend from the car park or whatever? And she will explain, or he will explain, and things will go normal. But now the malice has been on for for 2 months, a marriage of 1 year and 2 months. That is sickening. And that's why in marriage you need to do compatibility assessment. In courtship you do it before you say I do. Because if you go in there, listen, your health is your marriage, your wealth is your marriage, your happiness is your marriage, the happiness of your children when you are old and you are frail, it's your children that will take care of you. I'm hearing compatibility test for, yes, people are here. People don't. Myself, it was in the place of intense prayers that I received that revelation, and it's been amazing. I've seen couples that have seen themselves. Wow, what is this? This is me, and the result will tell you where to solve the problem. So if you're a man of God, or you have a church, or you have people that have been having serious conflict and it has not been resolved, please let them come and do compatibility assessment test. It will solve my problems. It has solved a lot of problems. I have a lot of people lined up now that they are doing tests for. Your result will be out between 2 or 3 days and you are good to go. You can go into therapy. Now, this lady, probably she had anger issue. I want to say you have anger problems. Some people, their anger is subdued. It's not aggressive. Some they are passive anger and they are passive aggression. Some are active and some are passive. This is anger that is being displayed in this marriage. And anger is one word short of danger. So the moment you realize that this thing, we are not talking, we are not communicating, we need help. But let's leave marriage now. I'm talking about relationship, drama-free. Communication is the key to every relationship. Anyone that you are relating with, hear me now. If you offend me and I'm not talking, it means that I don't want that relationship to work. I don't want you anymore. There's an address that says that a friend, I need to interpret it in English. You offend me and I ask you, is medicine for relationship? I tried though. You offend me and I tell you That is the medicine for children, for relationship. Meaning that if I offend you and you did not tell me, the relationship ends there. The relationship ends there. So the moment you offend me, and I'm not talking about, please share the video to your friends, please. This information is very crucial. Now, if you have a friend, you have issues and you cannot discuss it to get to a place where everybody will hug yourselves and go, you are not relating. You are not using wisdom to relate. It is impossible for you to be in a relationship and you will not have misunderstanding. It is impossible. It is impossible. Even the teeth and the tongue, they bite each other. Sometimes we beat our lips while eating. I see people that have sore in their lips, inner part of their lips, because they beat their lips. So it means that if mouth and lips can be beating each other, we can bite each other, we can fight. But the truth that is there, which is called maturity, ability to vent, to say what you are feeling, and there will be no more reaction, and you move on. That is the height of maturity, and that is when it is drama free. Now let me say this and just teach us this simple understanding and give us this simple understanding about communication. Number one, when you want to communicate to anyone, talk more about your feelings. Anybody that loves you will respect your feelings. I think somebody should write it for me. Talk more about your feelings. Don't say you. There are words you don't use in relationship. You cannot. You are blind. Can't you see? Are you da? You know the words we use when we are angry. The moment you are using that, when I listen to, what I do when I do couples therapy is I listen to the person, to the wife, I listen to the husband. Please let me advise people that are counseling people again. Don't ever call husband and wife to resolve conflict. It's not going to be resolved. They will go and brood over what you have said, and brood over what the other person said, and they will come again and the fight will go to gear 55. So the truth is, when you want to resolve a major conflict in a relationship, you talk to the wife, talk to the husband, listen to them both ways. When you are done with that, you will now bring them together. When you are bringing them together, there are no more venting. That's what we're talking about. There are no more venting. They've done all the venting to you. Then if they want to pop up the bitterness, you become an umpire to, I've listened to that. I've had that. Okay. You know what? This is what your husband is saying. This is what your wife is saying. Boom. Good to go. If you are going to settle a relationship between husband and wife, please stop calling them together. Go and check the statistics of relationships that are restored because they were called together. Maybe 2%, maybe old people that maybe their children have left and everything, and sincerely is not resolved. They just patched it. They just managed it because they are not happy together, but they don't have a choice. But you that is young, you are just starting your life. You can't. It's not possible. You can't take that route. You will commit adultery. You will cheat on each other. Fact. It's a door that leads to other doors. When you wanted to resolve major conflict in a relationship, if it's a major conflict, please seek intervention. In the multitude of counseling, there is safety. With a good counsel, you can make a war. Nobody goes to war without counsel. Counsel is might. Please, just take this marriage before it finally crashes to a doctor. I'm talking about doctor, soul doctor. I'm talking about a therapist. They will help you to handle it properly and professionally. Compatibility assessment test will make the job easy for any medical doctor. You don't have to start. Now, I've done counseling and therapy for people for, let me say, to be a counselor, it's been over 40 years. I've been counseling with people. Let me say to be for therapy and counseling and all of that, you know, maybe 20 years. That's it. That's 2 decades altogether. Now, I've had experiences. I can easily, you know, diagnose, okay, this is a problem, this is a problem that the man is having or the wife is having. But the truth is, it can still be a guesswork. Can I say this truly to you today? When you do compatibility assessment test, it's like, okay, you are pregnant, I'm not pregnant, you are pregnant, I'm not pregnant. Let's go and do the test. When the result is out, 2 of you will calm down and listen to what the doctor has to say. Same with compatibility assessment test. When you do it, you just find solution to your problem, and the doctor will say, okay, now I've done compatibility assessment tests for few couples that it's been tough for them to reconcile because of the personality that is there that they need to work on. So we take you straight to therapy. They take you straight to therapy because some people have some personality disorder that they cannot relate without having to sit in therapy for a long time because of where they're coming from. That's why in my profession we don't blame people, we don't judge people, because there's always a reason why a child will come up to have this particular personality. So you don't know the person. That now another secret is, by the time you are doing compatibility assessment test, you know the personality of your spouse. Somebody said, mine not even started. I'm having father-in-law issue. We are working on introducing what happened to her. I didn't get that. Mine not even started. I'm having father-in-law issue. We are working on introducing what happened to marriage counselor. No problem. Now let me explain this to you. When you are dealing with counseling, please make sure the person you are talking to understands and knows his onions. Please don't let anybody use your life to gamble. That's dangerous, because your health, your wealth, your happiness is being jeopardized because the person you are that is counseling you does not know his job. Look for somebody that knows his or her onions. My marriage has not started. I mean, okay, please do compatibility assessment test. If you are not married, how do you want to go into marriage like a goat going to a slaughterhouse? Marriage is a risk. You risk reasonably. When I say risk reasonably, I remembered one terrible financial decision I made some months ago. I wish I did not. I wish I could just risk like half or quarter. I'm telling you my experience. If I had risked half or quarter, it would have been better. But I took a greedy risk. Let me just put it that way. Now your marriage is for your life. A life partner, you're going to be there for the rest of your life. It's death that will do you pass. And you don't want to do compatibility assessment test, and you have been having issues. It was a typo. I even want to change our counselor because my father-in-law recommended. Don't put sentiments into your life, please. Get a professional. Now, in all fairness, I'm pricey, I'm expensive, and that's the truth. And what I tell people is, if you meet somebody who have just graduated from the medical school, who is just doing his house job, or you meet a professor, it's not the same. The wealth of experience, the exposure, the investment that I've put into this is amazing. It amazes myself. It's like, you know, at the tip of my fingers, I get results. Why? Because of the years of experience and because of information. I've invested so much in this, so I know. I don't need even husband and wife to resolve the conflict before the compatibility assessment test came. So having to do compatibility assessment test, it has given me a super leverage to just get into the problem and solve it. Now, after the compatibility assessment test, the result will be out. The clinicians will break it down, know what is going on. Then the recommendation for the therapy will be written also in your result. So, okay, you have gone to the hospital, you have gotten the test, You have gotten the result of the test, and the doctor will say, take this medication, and that's the end of fever, or at the end of your infection, or whatever it is. Or even if it's HIV, you start taking your medication because they have seen the diagnosis. They've been able to diagnose what the problem is. They've been able to see the problem. So you are no more struggling to know, and the two of you will see your results. That's another beautiful thing. Nobody is canceling you behind. Nobody is saying you are nasty, you are good. There is no good or bad in this. You see yourself as it is. It's like a mirror. Somebody was asking me, he said, do you want to say it's prophetic? It's not prophetic, but it's revelational. It's insight. It's foresight. And that's the way it is. And why would you say is a blood test for pregnancy is prophetic? It's just common science. God gave us brain so that God can rest. So please, you have to be careful. You have to now the father-in-law that is controlling now, and you are not married, for even your in-laws or your parents, both parents are getting involved in your marriage that is not starting yet. Professionally speaking, a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. There's supposed to be a separation. I'm not saying they should not give counsel, but their counsel should not be manipulative. It should be a fair counsel. Fact. Truth. Honest truth. So I've said it now. First thing I'm saying today, because I'll be closing shortly, is number one, talk more about your feelings. Stop using confrontational words like you. Can't you see? Are you blind? All those you words, they aggravate communication. I felt bad. Your wife, would have just said, honey, I felt so bad when my friend told me you did not pick her up. I really felt bad. Now, when I'm saying I felt bad, now, you notice that my tone changed. This is thoracic communication. I didn't say, why didn't you? That's another body language. But when I'm saying, I'm talking about my feelings, emotions are there, empathy is there, love is there, sincerity is there. When you want to say something serious in your relationship, please talk more about your feelings. I will leave you with this today. I hope I've said something that you resonate with. If you resonate with it, let me just see your love hand, your share hand. Thank you. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you everyone. Any other question before I just go and take some rest for another session of meeting having? Good evening. Thanks everyone. Thank you for sharing your love. More love. Thank you. Please, I want you to share this with your friends. The level at which we are going now, the statistics of divorce is going to wow the next generation. Probably. That's why God privileged me to give me the assignment of having to know the root of the problem through compatibility assessment, then solving it like that. Easy to solve. You will see it yourself. The two of you will know what you have to do to make the marriage work. It's amazing. To me, I'm humbled. And this is just the truth. It's a movement and we're taking it to the world. We're going to be very passionate about it. We're going to talk more about it and let people save their relationship, rekindle love in their marriages, know where they hurt, know where they are hurting both ways, know what to do, and let them enjoy the bliss that heaven has ordained for marriage relationship. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you. Yes, my story, my reality is coming on Tuesday. I'm bringing a guest. The flowers will soon be out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Thank you.